Sports. We are the Fourth. We are the Fourth.
Not many folks would believe that on June 16th, the Tampa Bay Rays would be in first place in the AL East. Not with 4 starting pitchers on the DL. Not with using a league-high 43 players, including 16 rookies. But the Rays keep on believing, and they keep on winning. Tonight, the Rays look for their 5th straight victory as they face Bryce Harper and the Washington Nationals. For the first time since the 25th of May, the Rays are in first place all alone in the American League East. A game up on the New York Yankees, 2 games ahead of third place Toronto. They've done it by winning 12 of their last 16 and 4 in a row. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tropicana Field and an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Rays will be wrapping up the homestand tonight against the Washington Nationals on the heels of last night's 6-1 victory. Steven Souza Jr. called Kevin Kiermaier a fire starter. And that's true on both sides of the baseball.
I'll tell you, you make the case he's the most dynamic player on this Rays ball club. All of the different ways that he can affect the outcome of a game. He's a very good defender with a very good arm. As you can see right here, him gunning out Albert Pujols at the plate. And guess what else? He runs very well. Good closing speed. He can go get him with the glove. And that's just on the defensive side of things. Now you go offensive, and he's the type of guy always looking to take the extra base, will take a seemingly routine single and turn it into a double, just like he did in the ball game last night. He's been running more recently, so if you can get him on base, things like this can happen. All of a sudden, he swipes third and then able to score right here on a sacrifice fly. So you're talking about a guy that can get it done in so many ways, can ignite a team in so many different ways, and hopefully he can keep the boys on fire here tonight.
You see a great homestand for Kiermaier, hitting .400. The Rays are 5-2 on this homestand, and tonight they hope to, for the second time this year, extend a winning streak to 5 in a row. They'll send Alex Colomé to the hill with that task at hand. Tom Callis will take a look at the last couple starts for the hard-throwing right-hander when we return.
lineup, but he's ready to go. Has that helmet on already. We're still a few minutes away from the first pitch between the Nationals and the Rays. You look at Alex Colomé. This will be his 10th start of this season, 15th of his career. And so far, he has done a nice job building up. And in 4 of his last 5 starts have been 2 earned runs or less. And in 11 of his 15 career starts, 2 earned runs or less. Colomé is always a guy that's been confident. But with this success at the major league level, his pitching coach, Jim Hickey, talks about how that confidence seems to be growing.
I see his confidence building, and even when he doesn't pitch well, he's very confident, and he's never happy when he comes out of the game. He's been one of the pitchers that, you know, we've had a shorter leash with. He's come out of a couple ball games after 5 and even 6 innings where he feels like he should, you know, be pitching deeper, and that's a good thing. You know, I never want anybody saying, hey, yeah, I'm glad you guys took me out at that point. But he's a confident kid and very proud kid overall, too.
So we'll see how Colomé fares today. Good to see Evan Longoria back in the Rays lineup after being hit by a pitch on the wrist in last night's game. 3 minutes and 5 seconds until the Rays try and finish off a homestand with a 5-game winning streak. They did that one other time back in April.
Rays and the Nationals tonight, and Alex Colomé will go to the hill to make his 10th start of the year, trying to finish this homestand on a winning note. Here's the lineup he will face, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Bernard Span's going to lead off in center, followed by Anthony Rendon. Yunel Escobar, the DH, Bryce Harper, then Wilson Ramos, then Robinson, followed by Danny Espinosa, Michael A. Taylor, and then Ian Desmond. Colomé ready in the first pitch of this game, presented by Pincher Penny, is a fastball in there at 95 and a strike call. Span lines it foul, deep but well foul.
Well, Colomé, you know, he'll be looking to build off of his last 2 starts. They have spanned against the Angels and the Mariners, spanning 11 in the 3rd innings. He gave up just 2 earned runs, a no decision in both ball games. But for Alex Colomé, it's all about command. Control has been fine. Command, when that's good, he's very good.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And Denard Span, you see the average of .299, but .343 against right-handed pitching.
Yeah, and he's a guy you want to keep off the base paths. Always a threat to run. Not been that easy this year.
2-2.
He is, there's a lot of teams that come in here, even with the Rays sometimes in their lineup, where you say, not a prototypical leadoff guy. Well, he is. This is exactly how you build them. Good on-base percentage. And the threat of the stolen base. Good speed.
Fouls it. So we'll see another 2-2 pitch. Span, one of a number of potential free agents on the Washington Ball Club. Ground ball, that's going to be tough and will go through the left side. Span is aboard to start this game.
Let's take a quick look at the Rays defense as it lines up tonight. In the outfield, left to right, we have DeJesus, Kiermaier, and Souza Jr. Across the infield, 3rd to 1st, Longoria, Cabrera, Forsythe, and Elmore, with Rivera behind the plate.
And Span with good speed aboard at first. Anthony Rendon, who's playing 3rd base tonight, was in there at 2nd in the game last night. Over to 1st. Span is back in. Span, not a lot of steals so far this year, but he's perfect. He is 6 of 6 in the running game.
Well, and opposing base stealers off Alex Colomé, 2 for 6. And he also has a pickoff.
Wide. Rendon out of Rice University. With 21 home runs last year for Washington. With a .287 average. There's a strike. 1-1 on Rendon.
Well, and he comes into this ball game. A couple of different injuries has limited him just to 11 games. But you see, he's got a 6-game hitting streak going. He also has a 6-game walk streak going. A hit and a walk in the last 6. So getting it done at the plate.
And there is a strike. It's 1-2. The injuries after playing in 153 games last year. He's had a knee sprain in spring training and then followed that up with an oblique strain.
It's a pretty bad combo. Knee goes, oblique goes, both very important in this game for productivity and being out on the field every day.
The liner into left. DeJesus will go back and make the catch. That ball hit on a line directly toward DeJesus, and he had to get a read on it. Finally retreated and made the catch.
Well, that was the 3rd breaking ball in a row that Rendon had seen. And I'll tell you, he, just very quick sweeping swing, and that ball jumped off the bat. You start to understand now, 21 home runs, 39 doubles last year. Good pop from a guy who may not show it physically. He got a good swing.
Now here's Yanel Escobar. He hit third and played third base last night. He's the DH tonight for Washington. Runner takes off. The pitch is fouled up the right side. Out of play it goes. Slicing into the stands, and Span had a great jump.
He did, and Yunel Escobar looked like he was trying to shoot that ball to the right side and try to get something going here. Picking their spots. Colome, we already talked about it, not very easy to run on. Neither is Rene Rivera, for that matter. He's been better and better.
Move over. Span back in this time. Now a step back by Colome, and Escobar steps out. Jim Reynolds, the third base umpire, has a little chat going with Bob Henley, the third base coach.
Interesting.
It would have been interesting to drop in on that conversation.
Absolutely.
As Matt Williams attempted to do.
As well he should.
Again to first. Matt Williams, as we all know, you know, an intense player and an intense manager. He's not happy with what's been going on with this Washington club lately.
No, they've lost their last 17 ball games. They're 5-12, and this is a team. You mentioned those free agents. They are built to win now and to get deep into the postseason. You know, making it is not good enough anymore for this ball club. They're looking at a deep run, a World Series type team, and they have been, quite frankly, just flat out underachieving.
Well, they're a game and a half out, but still just 2 games over 500. They expected a lot more after 96 wins last year. There's a lot of baseball to be played, but he's not happy with what's been going on recently. Swing and a miss. Escobar strikes out on the fastball. That went in there at 94. So Alex Colome picks up his first strikeout of the night.
Well, nothing fancy about that. That's just a mid-90s fastball right down the heart of the plate. Not exactly where you want to go 0-2 unless it's another 6-8 inches higher, but you will not quibble with that result.
With 2 outs and a runner at first, the hitter becomes Bryce Harper. He was the DH last night in right field tonight. And across the board, imposing numbers, no matter how you try to break them down. Pitch is low. Tonight's Buick big matchup, and here's why. Since May the 6th, he's hitting .412 with a .921 slugging percentage.
Just big time power numbers. The average on base percentage is through the roof. Just having a monster breakout year.
Shoots it toward the gap into right center. Souza cuts it off. Span's going to go to third. Throw to second. And he is safe there on a double for Harper. Harper in head first at second, and Span advances to third.
Well, with that throw coming into second base there on Bryce Harper, he just kind of deadened himself on the bag. 3-finger prong changeup right there. And Bryce Harper not fooled at all. Get this ball out into the gap. Good job by Souza Jr. to cut it off. That keeps Span at third. And then Bryce Harper, not going to overslide the bag here, just kind of flops and deadens himself right on the bag. We've seen so many guys overslide the bag this year.
Yeah, it's almost as if they have some kind of sheen on their uniforms and they just slide right by the bag.
You know what I think it has to do with, well, at least one of the factors, is the fact that now with replay, you have to be tagged. So guys are sliding off to the side. They're trying to make themselves, make themselves small, pick up an arm, a ton of speed going into the bag to avoid the tag. And then it's like, uh-oh, too far.
Ramos taps one to third. Longoria's got it. That takes care of the Washington threat. They leave 2 men on. No score. Presented by your Southern Ford dealers. The Rays tonight will have Kevin Kiermaier leading it off, followed by Joey Butler and then Evan Longoria, David DeJesus, Logan Forsythe, and Steven Souza Jr. down the middle. It's Drupal Cabrera at short. Jake Elmore hits 8th at first, and Rene Rivera 9th.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Washington Nationals is going to be right-hander Tanner Roark. Dwayne, how about this? I win 15 games last year with an ERA of 2.85 and 31 starts, and start the year off in the bullpen. That's how deep this rotation was at the beginning of the year with the signing of Max Scherzer. And so trying to get his sea legs back underneath him. Been in the rotation for 4 starts, trying to build up that pitch count and stamina.
Yeah, had a great first full season last year. The year before he was up for part of the year. Pitched well then, a combination of starts and bullpen work. But last year, he made 31 starts, bullpen to start the year. Now he's starting, and here's Kevin Kiermaier. And the pitch is fouled back. Strike one. Kiermaier with a couple 2-base hits last night. And boy, he breathes excitement into the game every night. It's a 1-1 count.
We kind of hit on that in the open. All the different ways that he can affect outcomes of ball games. And there really isn't a way that he can't. He'll show occasional power. He gets on base, always a threat to steal, especially recently. Looking to take an extra base. Good defender, good arm, good range.
And a foul ball back takes the count to 2-2. Well, a couple of Midwesterners facing each other here. Kiermaier out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. And Roark out of Wilmington, Illinois. He went to school at the University of Illinois. And now the count is full to Kiermaier. Hot shot into center. Span is there, however, and grabs it out of the air. And Kiermaier is the first out.
Designated hitter, number 9, Joey Butler.
Let's take a quick look at that national defense for you tonight. We're going to have in the outfield left to right Michael A. Taylor and Denard Span, and Bryce Harper across the infield third to first, Anthony Rendon, Ian Desmond, Danny Espinoza, and Clint Robinson, with Wilson Ramos behind the plate.
Joey Butler takes the first pitch for a strike. Butler continues to stay red hot for the Rays, coming off last night's 2 hits, a walk, and a stolen base. It's 1-1, so he's hitting .344 to start play tonight. A big lift for the Rays. Now 2 balls and a strike.
Quiet, unassuming, hard worker, consistent.
All qualities that endear him to his teammates. He doesn't say much. He's a friendly guy and is ready to hit once he steps into that batter's box. A foul ball will run the count to 3-2.
I mean, it never leaves the box. Very rarely. You know, he goes in there with a game plan. He's thinking up the middle the other way, and if I happen to get a pitch that I can pull the trigger on and pull, I'll do that too.
Ground ball right side, broke his bat. Roark will cover, and he takes the toss from Robinson. So 2 gone.
Well, the one thing to look for from Tanner Roark, not going to overpower you with stuff, but he has pinpoint control. He needs to rely on that for success. He will move the fastball both sides of the plate, the 4-seamer, the 2-seamer. He'll cut it a little bit, a slider, a curveball, a changeup. Has a good idea of what he's doing out there, but he is one of those pitchers that cannot afford misses out over the heart of the plate.
Evan Longoria takes a strike. Well, he was hit by a pitch last night on that left wrist. It was x-rayed and we're obviously negative. He's back in there tonight and lines a base hit into center field. So Longoria is aboard his first time up. 2-out base hit.
Well, and just like we said, he cannot afford misses out over the heart of the plate. This will be what happens. And Longoria right back up the middle.
Here's David DeJesus, and the pitch to him is wide. Ground ball, right side. Espinoza with the pickup. And Jesus is out of there. Rays leave a man. We're through an inning, no score. Let's go places. By Checkers. Get Checkers authentic Philly cheesesteak or try the new meatball sub. Pick yours, 2 for $5. And by Morgan Auto Group. Clint Robinson will lead off the second inning here against Alex Colomé. Colomé gave up a couple hits in the first and got out of that. The pitch is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Espinosa is going to be next, and then Taylor. Robinson out of Jefferson City, Missouri, played right field last night. It's a ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. A 2 ball, 1 strike count. That's ball 3. It's Danny Espinosa on deck. To right, and that one is way gone. Tremendous blast to right off the bat of Clint Robinson. That's his second big league home run. He had spent a long time in the minor leagues, long enough to hit 141 minor league home runs, and boy, he got all of that one.
Well, the ball's down in the zone, left-handed hitter, fastball count, well, let's say down and in, and that is just absolutely beautiful contact for Robinson. And that ball, I still didn't see it come down. No idea. Headed towards the rings.
Boy, you wonder how far that thing would go unimpeded. Here's a bunt by Espinosa, and a great attempt. The Rays had the shift on, and Forsythe came in from the edge of the outfield grass to try to make that play. And Espinosa has a bunt single.
Oh, that's what he was gunning for. He sees that big hole, get it by the pitcher and in front of Forsythe. Almost ended up bunting it too hard, as Forsythe made a heck of a play and made that play a lot closer than it looked like it was going to be. Just a little bit wide on that throw, but you can hardly blame him for that.
Well, that's a different way to beat the shift.
Boy, isn't that the truth? I mean, hitters, teams trying to figure out ways. And you're right, especially in that situation, not a run-producing situation. Just get a base run.
There's a bunt put down by Taylor. Colomé's throw not in time, and a couple bunt singles. Boy, that's close at first base, and it brings Kevin Cash out in front of the dugout a couple steps. So Taylor puts down a bunt. Let's take a look.
Well, it's awfully close, but I don't think that. Yeah, it looked like he was there. Looked like the call was right.
Well, from the Rays' point of view, it's got to be clear and convincing. And even if they thought they might have had him, it's not clear and convincing.
No, not at all. Completely agree. Dwayne, the trend continues. Where does Colomé typically struggle? The bottom of the lineup.
Yep.
And here we are. Robinson in the 6th position with the home run, and then singles 7, 8. Now you're down to the 9 spot. This has been something that has plagued Alex all season long. 2 outs and bottom of lineups.
Desmond now is going to bunt, and he bunts foul with men at first and second and nobody out. He's trying to move the runners over.
Well, they go home run, bunt, attempt.
It's old time baseball. You know, you're talking about the shift, and you brought up the idea that with the shift getting more prevalent every year, the guy's going to have to start coming up through the minor leagues and coming to the big leagues, hitting the ball the other way and all over the place. And we've just seen what bunting might also do to try to counterbalance the shift. So the shift might force a little more skill back into the game.
And it was kind of trending that way anyway. You know, you start to get PEDs on a mass scale out of the game. And all of a sudden, you know, those 3-run bombs and 45, 50, 60 home runs a year, that's not there anymore. So you've got to find other ways to score. So that was the trend anyway. The shift may speed that up. Hit the ball the other way, lay down a bunt.
Because you're seeing not only the big sluggers be affected by the shift, and they may not try to hit the ball the other way. They're big sluggers, so let them swing away. But you're seeing the shift implemented on mid-range hitters and hitters with little power. But they put the shift on because they have figured out the general direction of where their contact winds up.
And I know some guys at this point, the type of hitter they are, well, that's who they are. You know, when you're a mid-range hitter, you're a guy that's going to hit maybe 8 to 10 home runs a year. Well, if you're in that range, I would be working incessantly at hitting the ball the other way. You're not going to make a difference hitting into the shift with that kind of power or lack of power. Mm-hmm. But you will impact the game if you can spread the field and get the defense back to normal for yourself. Raise that average 20, 30 points. The on base by 40 or 50.
And what that will do is put a greater emphasis on skill defensively. Swing and a miss. Desmond out on strikes. That ball cutting away from him. And a big strikeout for Colomé with runners still at first and second.
Ian Desmond has been struggling mightily at the plate. Early in the season, it was in the field, but he was hitting all right. Now he is really struggling up there, and a couple of good sliders from Colomé send him back to the dugout.
Now the top of the order, Denard Span, who singled to start this game, advanced to third and was left there. One ball, no strikes. So far, the damage limited to the leadoff home run by Robinson. But immediately following, Espinosa bunted, Taylor bunted. Now they're at first and second with one out. That's a strike. 1-1. Span good with men in scoring position and good against right-handed pitching. So he's got one man in scoring position, first and second, and facing the right-hander Colomé.
And he did a really nice job in his first at bat hitting the ball the other way, letting the ball get into the zone, didn't get over anxious, and then just slapped it in the hole. And he's got plenty of room to work on that left side once again. The Rays do not plug that hole.
Pitch is outside. 2-1. run, 5 hits for Washington. We're only 1 out into the second inning. And he gets spanned to chase the changeup. 2-2.
A good one too. Great arm action, and that swing tells you everything. Way out in front. Cannot wait back long enough. Such a weapon when you can throw that pitch behind in the count.
And there is ball 3. So a full count. Colomé has been a slow worker all year and is very, very deliberate here tonight with men on base in the second inning.
Well, if you're going to take this much time, think about it, and then think about maybe going back with that changeup here in a full count.
A little nubber. Well, he did, and Span nubbed it foul.
He needed 1 more mile per hour off that, and he gets a strikeout. I'll tell you, that was right off the end of the bat by Denard Span, but I love the idea of the pitch. He threw it 2-1 to get back to 2-2, and then in a full count, had the guts to come with it again. You're on your own now.
The second 3-2 pitch about to be made. And he walked him. Did come back with a change, and it was taken for ball 4. And the bases are loaded with only 1 out in the second inning. Bases loaded for Anthony Rendon. Rendon line to left his first time. The first pitch misses outside. Home run to lead off this inning. 2 bunt singles and a walk. Bases loaded. 1 out. Foul back into the screen. It's 1-1.
You know, Alex Colomé does have 5 ground balls into double plays. You'd love to see one here. You got to get something moving down towards the ground. A fastball maybe with some late movement. Rendon is looking to get something into the outfield, a little bit of lift and carry.
Espinosa third, Taylor second, Span at first. There's some speed on the bases here. The pitch is up. 2-1. And that's an area where Manny Gonzalez, who's umpiring tonight, does not give a lot of strikes. Pretty fair on the corners and around the knees. Not inclined to call a lot of strikes up.
Especially when the pitch isn't supposed to be there. When you get a breaking ball up, those aren't supposed to be up there. You're really not going to get that call.
Foul ball. The count goes to 2-2. Manny Gonzalez, just 35 years old, out of Venezuela. First umpire in the major leagues from Venezuela. Two, the count on Rendon. 2-2 here. And now the count is full. So it's been a long inning here in the top of the second. And another full count. Colome's pitch count on the night up to 40, as you can see right there. 16 of those in the first inning. And you may not believe this with the way the pace of this game has gone, because he's taking a lot of time tonight between pitches, but overall he's been quicker this year than he was the last couple years between pitches. But slow here, in trouble. And the pitch is fouled. Came back with a fastball. So we'll see another 3-2 pitch.
I think that it comes back to relative, things being relative. And so you're right. He's a full 2 seconds quicker than he was last year. However, with the rest of the league kind of picking the pace up a little bit, now he looks like molasses out there. He can turn things around here with one good pitch.
And he walks Rendon. That forces home Espinosa, and it's 2-0. And that's going to get Jim Hickey out of the dugout and on his way to the mound.
Because you end up walking this hitter, Rendon, in front of Yunel Escobar and Bryce Harper, two of the better hitters statistically. I mean, Bryce Harper without question, but Yunel Escobar, the top 10 in hitting in the National League. He's been swinging the bat very well. And you've got the bases juiced still. This is where you really, as a pitcher, you have to trust the game plan, trust your stuff, and get that ball back on the plate.
Well, for the Nationals, this is a big opportunity. Bases loaded. They already lead 2-0. Only one out. Escobar out on strikes his first time when Colome threw a fastball by him. Ground ball into the hole and through. Base hit. Taylor will score. Span heads to the plate. Escobar didn't waste any time on the first pitch. Grounds a single into left. And it's a 4-run inning for Washington.
You had a feeling the first straight pitch that Escobar saw, he was going to cut it loose. He gets a fastball down in the zone, but he's right on it and hits that ball hard enough and in the right spot. It's going to squirt out into the outfield. And with all that speed that you were talking about, Dwayne, on the base paths, an easy 2 runs there for the Nationals. 2 more runs.
So the leadoff home run, a couple of bunts have led the Nationals to a 4-run inning. Bryce Harper is the 8th man to hit in this inning, still just 1 out. He doubled his first time. First pitch taken for a strike on the fastball. It's 1-1. Orioles off to a fast start at home against the Phillies. They have an 8-0 lead in the bottom of the second, with Baltimore still hitting. It's down, 2 balls and a strike. Manny Machado has a home run. His 13th of the year. And he's just hit another one. So he has number 13 and 14. Paredes hit one in the first inning. So the Orioles have hit 3 home runs already in that game. There's a strike, and it's 2-2. And the Marlins scored 8 in the first on the Yankees. So they get off to an 8-0 lead. New York hitting in the top of the second. That was Eovaldi and Phelps. Those two guys involved in the trade between the Marlins and the Yankees. So the former Marlin Eovaldi knocked out after giving up 9 hits to 11 batters. And David Phelps in there pitching for Miami against his former team, the New York Yankees.
Those starts can be tricky sometimes, as Nathan Eovaldi found out, but that's an amazing statistic. 9 hits in 11 hitters.
Yep.
That's not easy to do if you went out and tried to do that. One of those nights.
Well, a full count again. Here's Harper waiting for the 3-2 pitch. And ball 4. So that will reload the bases. It's a major struggle for Colomé here in the second inning.
Well, and the pitch count continues to mount. You know, Alex Colomé this year has had good control, not always the best command. Tonight, he has neither.
Well, the Rays are going to get some action in the bullpen. Wilson Ramos takes this one way high.
And you can see Colomé starting to try to feel for home plate, to almost aim. He's not letting it loose. He's not throwing free and easy. Really fighting himself. Rene Rivera out there doing what he can, but this is something at this point the pitcher is going to have to find within himself. That little talk right there will help. Maybe it triggers something, but you've got to find this on your own, and it's not easy.
It's been a 34 pitch inning. He has 1 out so far. With the bases loaded behind him, and 4 men have scored. It's upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. So Riefenhauser, the lefty, trying to get ready as quickly as he can in the bullpen. Colomé behind Wilson Ramos. And misses again. It's 3-0. Could not find the zone to the fastball there.
And that's all he's trying to do. He's not even going after quality strike right now. He's just trying to throw a strike. This is a horrible place to be as a pitcher.
And he gets a strike, 3-1. 2 bunt singles, 3 walks, the base hit by Escobar, leadoff home run of the inning by Robinson. Fly ball into right. Souza will go back in line to make the catch. Rendon will tag and score. Over to third goes Escobar, and it's 5-0 as Ramos drives in a run with a sacrifice fly. So 2 outs now with men at first and third. And here's the man who started the inning, Clint Robinson. There's a strike. Well, Robinson got ahead 3-1 to open this inning and then hit this one out of sight. Second home run in the major leagues. The count is 1-1. Robinson had a brief appearance with Kansas City back in 2012 and a handful of at-bats with the Angels last year. And now we have a 2-1 count.
You could even see it on that pitch there. That was a changeup that was kind of babied in there by Alex. You can see him trying to rear back and fire the fastball. That's been a little erratic. And then the breaking stuff just has completely lost the feel for those pitches.
Colomé made over 40 pitches in this inning.
Yeah, that won't help.
And he again is behind Clint Robinson, 3-1.
You've got a hitter at the plate who homered about a half hour ago. Bases are loaded. You got a 3-1 count. He's looking for the same thing. One pitch, one spot, and he's going to turn it loose. Oh, sorry, 2 on. Just feels like 3 on.
A 3-1 count. And he shoots it into center field. Kiermaier will dive for it. Knocked it down. The ball in play. Escobar has scored. Harper heads to the plate. And he is tagged out. Boy, what a grab at the plate by Rivera. And on the swipe tag, he gets Harper to retire the side. Took a great play to get out number 3. But the Rays did it on a great tag there by Rivera. And it turns out to be a big inning. You can see how close Kiermaier came to catching that ball, and he stayed with it.
Nifty glove work here. You're right. Stayed with it. That tag high on the shoulder of Harper, but far enough away from home plate. Boy, that is well done. Nice job on both ends. Kiermaier for not giving up on the play, and Rivera for that glove work.
So it's a 6-run deficit now for the Rays. Robinson's home run and closed by Clint Robinson's RBI double, and the Rays threw out Bryce Harper at the plate. 8-6-2 for the third out of the inning. Now we go to the bottom of the second. It's 6-0 Washington, and Logan Forsythe takes a strike. 43 pitches for Colomé in the top of the second inning. There's a strike, and it's 0-2, and boy, an inning in which he just had no command at all.
No, and it really wavered towards the end as the fatigue started to build up. A lot of pitches that inning, a lot of high leverage trouble pitches. You know, the Rays have been in this position before. It's an ugly score right now, but they've got the entire game, and this team, known for its resiliency, has that ability to put together some quality at bats, try to crawl back into this game and make some noise.
Fly ball into left center. That's going to fall for a base hit. Big hop as Span reaches up to grab it, and Forsythe is aboard.
That's one of the examples. You know, Logan Forsythe doesn't try to do too much there. He just kind of gets the swing out there and lofts that ball out there. Hit number one.
You know, Forsythe was talking about his success the other day. And number one, he's got to play more this year on an everyday basis, which helps. But his approach is in the moment. It's today and not yesterday, not tomorrow. It's this at bat, this pitch. And boy, it has really worked for him.
Do you know why that works? It works because of what you said previous to that. You're out there every day.
Souza rolls it to short. Second base, one. First base, not in time there. Forsythe forced at second.
If you're a part-time player or you're platooning, it's hard to live in the moment because you don't know if you're going to be out there the next day. Maybe I will. Maybe if I stay hot, I will. Maybe I won't. And so that's tough. When you know your name's going to be in the lineup every day, a little bit easier to take that approach. And boy, has he applied it.
It's really the way to not only not to get too philosophical. It's really the way not only to play baseball, but just to live. Because you're so focused on the moment, and that's what he's done. I think that's what this team does.
Yes.
They're not worried about what happened last night or what's going to happen tomorrow. They've got a game to play right now, and they're focused on now whatever matchup there will be. You know, Souza frequently comes down on that bag at first base, and his ankles seem to take a beating, and I think there's another case of that.
He's trying to beat the double play, and these bags do not give these Hollywood-style bases. They are planted into the ground, and so you come down on it awkwardly, funny, at an odd angle, and your foot, ankle, it'll let you know.
So Kevin Cash out there in Ron Porter Field just to check on Souza.
He's fine.
Looks great now.
Just needed to buy himself a little bit of time. Got the wrist guard on, ready to run.
One on with one out, and here's Asdrubal Cabrera. Pitch outside, 1-0. Well, Souza was in that one moment when the foot really hurt. He got beyond that, got into the moment when it didn't hurt that much anymore, and now he is ready to go.
I would love to see all of the different contraptions in his locker. You know, you got the ankle brace going now. You've got the wrist brace. You've got the glasses, the little yellow balls, the little stick. What else do we have?
Yeah, you put glasses that flash on and try to hit.
Right.
I mean.
Oh, the tee. The tee probably takes up some room.
I hope some of those things are foldable, you know, where they don't take up as much space.
Yeah, because he's not as big a veteran as, you know, some of the other guys, so he's probably not a two-locker guy yet. When he becomes a two-locker guy, it'll be a piece of cake.
He'd have a piece of cake in the locker, too?
Possibly. A lot of birthdays. Jake Elmore turned 28 yesterday.
Yeah, how about that? You know, he was up there with the bases loaded 3 times, did drive in a run, left all those guys on base. But, you know, that particularly that one at bat, he hit the ball as hard as you can hit it. There's ball 4, and the Rays have 2 men on. So either, well, you left those guys on base, but he did what he could do. He hit the ball hard, and he continues to give the Rays consistently good at bats to the tune of 286 so far.
I'd like to see another one here and chip away at this lead a little bit. Yeah, this ball game, as bad as it looks right now, far from over. The way that this team continually rises up in these kind of situations, at least make it interesting.
Jake Elmore. The pitch is inside. Souza on second, Cabrera at first. Now a ball and a strike. The Rays facing a young right-hander, Tanner Roark. First came up a couple of years ago and everybody wanted to call him Rourke, and they were. A strike, and it's 1-2, and his grandmother made telephone calls and sent out emails. Said the family name is Roark. Please abide by the family wishes and refer to him as Roark. And she made it clear a couple of years ago, so you'd better call him Roark because his grandmother is watching.
Not too many grandmothers you want to pick a fight with.
That's right. Yep. Because they know all the angles. They have all the benefit of that experience. So you go, yes, ma'am.
Yep.
2-2 now to Elmore. The Rays, however, would like to score some runs off her grandson. Deficit is 6 right now. Roark, interesting story. As we mentioned, he's from Illinois, went to the University of Illinois for a couple of years, and signed with an independent league team in the Frontier League, the Southern Illinois Miners in Marion, Illinois, and pitched for them before becoming a member of the Texas Rangers organization. The count is full.
Not a high draft pick at all. I think the 25th round. But
a 15-game winner last year.
Yeah, you can't argue with the numbers.
Swing and a miss. Elmore missed that pitch down.
I was really liking the Rays' chances there. You know, when you got a full count and you're coming with a fastball arm side in, the chances of that pitch getting called for a strike, not very good. You see these pitches moving off the plate in, and that one able to dive under the swing of Elmore. Turns out to be a great pitch by Tanner.
So Roark now faces Rene Rivera. The pitch is a strike. Roark, 28 years old, was up 2 years ago, put together a 7-1 record in 14 games. 5 of those were starts, and was 15-10 last year. And he quickly is in front of Rivera.
It's the late dive on the sinker. You know, and you can expand that when you're ahead in the count. With Jake Elmore, he had to keep that pitch on the plate, had to throw a strike right there, didn't want to walk the bases loaded. 0-1 to Rivera, you can get a little bit more, you can freelance a little bit more, and he got the swing.
That one coming in, hits the bat on the check. Hit at 92. Marion, Illinois, the hometown of Ray Fosse, the former big league catcher and holder of the biggest, strongest hands, at least in the broadcast business now.
I want to go back and watch old footage of Ray Fosse behind the plate and check out if he actually used a glove or if he went bare hand, because he probably could have.
Yeah, he's pretty amazing. Pitch upstairs. It's 1-2. 2 outs with 2 men on. The Rays in a spot here where an extra base hit starts to get them rolling in the right direction. Rivera behind in the count, however, and Roark misses wide. 2-2. Souza Jr. at second, Cabrera at first. So the count holds at 2-2. Popped up. That's a foul ball and will carry into the seats. So Roark making a few more pitches than he would like. He's at 40 pitches right now through the first couple innings. He's been averaging in the 15 to 16 pitch range. And that is strike 3 call. Rivera caught looking, and the Rays leave 2 men on base. We're at the end of 2, and it's 6-0 Washington. The family fun Sunday, June 28th, as Kids Bop Kids play a post-game concert. All kids 14 and under receive a Rays Retro 10 lunchbox while supplies last. For more information, visit RaysBaseball.com/concerts. C.J. Riefenhauser is the new pitcher for the Rays, on for the 5th time. He pitched an inning in last night's game. And the first pitch to Danny Espinosa is a strike. Colomé worked 2 innings, gave up 7 hits and 6 runs. Struck out a couple and walked 3, surrendering a home run in the 59 pitches he made. chopper deflected off Riefenhauser's glove to Forsythe, and the throw to first, and the Rays cannot complete it. That would have been another great play, and the Rays been able to pull that one off. But Espinosa is aboard on this base hit.
Well, Logan Forsythe puts himself into good position and throwing on the run. And Jake Elmore, you know, even if he scoops that foot like it was coming off the bag. C.J. Riefenhauser had the best shot at it, but off his glove, Espinosa hustling, and he gets there.
Michael A. Taylor. Bounces it back. We saw some of Taylor's athleticism last night, not only in the single and the stolen base, but in the catch he made in left field. That came in the third inning when Cabrera appeared to have a home run. Taylor made the catch with his back to the wall. Ground ball, shortstop. Cabrera gets the force at second, and no chance to get the runner Taylor at first. Too fleet of foot for that. And Espinosa's forced at second. The Orioles continue to hit home runs. And with the Phillies now batting in the top of the fourth in Baltimore, the Orioles lead 12-0. Manny Machado's hit a couple home runs in that game. David Lowe has one. Paredes and Parmalee have also homered. Chopped to short. Cabrera to second, one. First base, two. The Rays get the 6-4-3 double play out of Ian Desmond. Bottom of the third coming.
We welcome in right now Stu Sternberg, the principal owner of the Tampa Bay Rays. Great to have you here. I guess you're seeing 3 games in a row against the Washington Nationals, right? Today, last night, tomorrow?
If not 4, but let's hopefully see that this is like 2 games tonight. There was a tail of the first couple of innings and then the rest of the game.
I would think if this thing turns around, you would be the reason why. We can pin this one on you if this turns around at this point.
Well, that's clear. So fortunately, when I came in yesterday and we continued our winning ways, I didn't have to turn around and leave the ballpark early.
Let's talk about this team, Stu. Here we are. If you guys like to project wins and who might win X amount of games every spring, here's a ball up the middle from Kiermaier and played by Desmond, and he throws a bullet to first for the first out. If we say in spring training to you, no Alex Cobb this year, Drew Smiley 3 starts. Jake McGee was hurt part of the year. Odorizzi now joins the DL. James Loney's been on the DL twice. Desmond Jennings, we haven't seen much lately. What would your thoughts have been 65 games in?
Look, teams. Every team is going to have some injuries and have a bunch of them. To have them all hit at such right early on, especially as we're beginning a new way of doing things, new manager, a new person in charge of baseball. You want to get off to a good start. The challenges are enough without having all that heaped onto it, and our guys really answered the bell, as you can see, because in trying to deal with everything we're trying to do and institute new things always and keep up with it and working with each other, new faces, to have to deal with the sort of on the run, who's going up, who's going down, who's pitching, where we're going to get the innings, sort of thing. When it happens on the, we just ducked it for cover there. When it happens on the offensive side of the ball, you have somebody come and fill in. It's not necessarily pretty, but you can play people out of position. I mean, we see Washington playing Escobar at third base. Would we ever have thought to put him at third base, in the last couple of years? So but you do it. Pitching, you still got to get your 24, 27 or more outs in a game, and who's going to get them?
And Joey Butler, as we talk about a team that's filled with surprises, maybe one of the biggest.
Yeah, these things happen. Quite frankly, we haven't really been on the positive end of that on the offensive side, for a while.
Barehanded play by Rourke, who throws out his former teammate in the minor leagues, Butler, for the second out of the inning.
Well, and it's going right for a night, huh? We haven't been significantly on the right side of that offensively for the last few years. You go back a number of years, we've seen the guys, whether it was Pena coming in, bringing in Cliff Floyd or Hinsky, and years. I know there are a bunch of guys since then, but to have a guy, sort of show up out of nowhere on the offensive side, designated hitter kind of thing, out, corner outfielder, and make an impact with his bat, that's been something we, quite frankly, have been, it's been sorely lacking.
Evan Longoria is the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. 2008 was such an incredible year that came out of nowhere. In some ways, the level of surprise parallel what happened in 08?
Yeah, to me it is. We looking at things, we make our projections and everything else, but when we came into 08 and the way we finished 07, and there was the classic piece that had us winning 87, 88 games, and we felt we were, gosh knows why, but we felt we were a solid mid-80 win team that year, and we would have pinched ourselves if we got there because it was so unexpected after having the worst record. But as you see, those things happen, whether it's the Astros coming on this year, the Red Sox having a rotten year, get through, there we go. Just got to get hit on the wrist.
No, the fans like when you call the game, so just keep at it. But go ahead.
We're getting runners on. So you've seen teams come out of nowhere. You see the Red Sox, basically finish last in the East and win the World Series the next year and come out. So teams have those big ups and downs. However, what you generally don't see is a seasoned team or people what they think a season with all this kind of turnover. We felt we had a pretty decent team this year. We did everything in the offseason. But again, new methods, new methodology, new manager, all those things, and you sort of hold your breath a little bit. But you layer on these injuries, especially to the pitching staff, which is our bread, butter, mana, whatever you'd want to call it. And to see the job our guys have done, not only putting the pitchers in a place to succeed, but the pitchers themselves. Rivera, I think, has made a huge difference. Obviously, we had a tremendously porous infield and defense last year, which should have been a real strength. And you look what our outfield has done defensively, what the infield has done defensively, and a catcher. We stick to our knitting, and it's made a difference. To be sitting here in first place for a day or two or three or however is, to me, is more of an achievement than what happened even 08 up to this point at least.
DeJesus grounds to first. We have a relatively quick inning with the owner, Stu Sternberg. It is 6-0 in favor of Washington at the end of 3. We look forward to seeing you over at Nationals Park tomorrow.
Yeah, and thank you, everybody, for staying tuned and being a part of it, and let's have an exciting summer.
All right, guys, we'll be back after this.
He had a 7-pitch third, and he faces the top of the order. Denard Span to lead it off. Span has singled and walked, scored a run in the second. Pitch is down. Washington comes in 2 games over 500. 33-31. The Rays at 36-29. Up by a game. There's a strike. Rays lead the Yankees by that 1 full game. And tonight in Miami, the Marlins lead the Yankees 8-0. With New York hitting in the top of the 4th inning. The other team that has been red hot, the Blue Jays. A little soft looper down to third, caught by Longoria for the first out. Blue Jays play the Mets again tonight, and right now Blue Jays are batting in the 5th, trailing New York 3-0. Scored 2 in the second and got another run in the 3rd inning. There's Romero. Eddie Romero starting to limber up. Anthony Rendon takes the pitch for a ball. He walked with the bases loaded in the 2nd inning when the Nationals scored all 6 of their runs. This one straight away center. Kiermaier back to the wall, and he makes the catch. Kiermaier got back to the track and started to field for the wall, and just before he got there made the catch.
You know what? Field with his hand and field with his feet. Watch him get choppy steps back there. Start to measure it up right here. Tap, 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 and into the wall he goes. Be a little disconcerting because you do not want to take your eyes off the ball in this ballpark. Sometimes tough to pick it back up. Even if it is your home park, you take your eyes off it late, you're in big trouble.
Base is empty, 2 gone, and here's Yanel Escobar. Chopping one to short. Cabrera will play this one to first. 1, 2, 3. We got to the bottom of the 4th. 6-0 Washington. Participating in the home run challenge. Every Rays home run raises $12,000 for prostate cancer research. You can make a pledge by going online to homerunchallenge.org. Well, we'll see how the Rays can contribute to that here in the 4th. They have Logan Forsythe, Steven Souza Jr., and Asdrubal Cabrera. Logan takes the pitch down. He had a base hit his first time, 2nd inning. Ground ball. Desmond throwing a strike to first. And Forsythe is the first out.
Right fielder, Steven Souza Jr.
Steven Souza Jr. facing Tanner Roark. Takes a fastball inside, 1-0. It's foul out of play, 1-1. Pitch inside. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls, 2 strikes. Six, 8-0 for Washington, 3-0 for the Rays. And there is strike 3 call. How about that for a breaking pitch?
Well, he starts it at the front hip of Souza Jr. And so the brain just kind of locks up. One of those pitches. There's the curveball. Boy, that was a nasty one. And Steven Souza Jr. knew it.
2 up, 2 down in the Rays' 4th. Rays appeared to have a little something going on in the 2nd, but they left 2 men on. Cabrera fouls it out of play. 1 strike. Ball, 1 strike. Down to second base. Espinosa makes the play. And a 3-up, 3-down inning. When we go to the 5th, Bryce Harper will lead it off for Washington. Nationals scored 6 in the 2nd inning. The T-Mobile game changer is Bryce Harper, will be leading off the 5th, and you can see his rankings up and down all the important categories. If he's not right on top as he is in slugging percentage, he's close to it in all the rest.
Well, the fact that he's that well-rounded of a hitter, on-base percentage is high, the average obviously very high, home runs, runs driven in. One of the best all-around hitters in the game.
Yeah, and that at only 22.
And doesn't it feel like he's much older?
Sure does.
Got to the big leagues so young, so much height. Hasn't had a full season yet in the big leagues, some injury issues. But boy, oh boy, is he having a breakout season here.
1 ball, 1 strike. There's a drive. That ball powered deep into center, and he hit that one over the Rays tank. Got that netting up there to protect, and it wound up right on top the Rays tank. Boy, that ball deep and gone. Well, we talked about when he was here at that home run hitting contest when he was only a teenager. I think he was 16 years old. He hit one over 500 feet. And boy, take a look at this one.
A no doubt hanging breaking ball, middle in.
It rolls back down that net. Ground ball, Cabrera takes care of that, and Ramos is the first out following the long home run.
Number 25, Robinson.
So Harper's 22nd home run of the year.
Well, protect the women, the children, and the fish.
101.6 off the bat.
That didn't work.
Robinson missed the breaking ball. That's a strike. Boy, what a shot. One now to the first baseman. Harper's 52nd run batted in with his 22nd home run. And he connects off the left-hander C.J. Riefenhauser.
Only 3 of the 22 have come against lefties.
2-2. Ball loose from the Rays bullpen. Eddie Romero is throwing in the right field bullpen. And now the count is full. Alex Colomé started, gave up 6 runs in 2 innings. And now Riefenhauser walks Robinson, who's on for the 3rd time. Robinson's home run started a 6-run second and eventually led to the demise of Alex Colomé. Now Robinson has drawn the walk. Danny Espinosa is due up. Kevin Cash out to make the pitching change. We'll be back in just a moment.
By Bryce Harper into the Rays tank area, landing on the net. Guys, this is the board where he hit one over when he was 16 years old in 2009. Here's Harper talking about that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think at that young of an age, being able to do something like that, even with aluminum bat, was pretty spectacular. I think a lot of guys, there used to be a flag, the flag. Gruchek hit that a couple times. Christian Walker went into the party deck once or twice. So some guys hit some huge homers. It was just a lot of fun.
It was a summer showcase. It was in 2009, the last time the Washington Nationals actually played here, and it was after his sophomore year of high school. Not only did he hit one over the scoreboard, which measured, as Dwayne said earlier, 502 feet, he hit one off the back wall just to the left of the Tropicana orange, and he hit one over by the text imaging sign. So he hit 3 off the back wall after his sophomore year in high school. It was aluminum. Still impressive, guys.
Yeah, it's impressive no matter what you hit that with. Over 500 feet And as you said, he's a teenager right after his sophomore year.
I hate to really go away from that, but that home run wasn't the most impressive thing even in that shot. I mean, it is in and of itself 502 feet, but the shot setting up Todd, talking about that's the most impressive thing in the shot. Are you kidding me with that? A walrus.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And authentic.
And legit.
Yep.
Last night wondered if there was a little airbrushing going on. There was not.
Real thing.
That's all winter long.
Ground ball up the middle against Eddie Romero. The base hit. Robinson advances to second. And tonight, Washington picking up 7 runs and 10 hits so far.
Well, this team had some opportunities in the ball game yesterday. They were limited to just 1 run. There's a big fan of Mr. Espinosa.
Yeah, it's a Danny Espinosa fan. Michael A. Taylor swings and misses for a strike.
That piece of gum didn't stand a chance, Dwayne.
Really abusing it.
Well, he's not a big fan of the score of this game, and I can't blame him. That poor Gum's taking a savage beating.
It's 1-1 now. Tap foul. Now a ball and 2 strikes. 2 men on here in the 5th inning with a run home on the Harper home run to center. Ramos grounded out, and then the walk to Robinson. That was it for Riefenhauser, who worked 2 1/3 and leaves allowing 1 run, responsible for Robinson, who's now at second. Moving up on the Espinosa base hit. And a base hit into right. That's going to score Robinson. Over to third. Espinosa throw back to second. That run charged to Riefenhauser. It's 8-0. Taylor drives in a run with his second hit tonight.
Well, this ball just stayed up and out over the plate. Looked like that was going to be a cutter or a slider. He just didn't get over the top of. It stayed flat. Look at Souza Jr. though out there in right field, right center field, diving after that ball, trying to keep it in front. This Rays ball club continues to play hard. He's trying to keep that ball in front. Kiermaier, nice job though of getting back there and keeping Taylor at first base.
Now here's a chopper, and that's a fair ball over Elmore's head and up the right field line. Espinosa scores on the Desmond base hit. Taylor goes to third. Washington here in the 5th inning with a production line going.
Yeah, and when things like this happen, you just know it's not your night. Reaches out there, catches that ball almost behind him. And watch this chopper. I mean, just 1 bounce right over the head of Jake Elmore, a few feet fair, and everybody trades places.
That's 9 runs for Washington. Denard Span. The pitch is low. So 2 1/3 for Riefenhauser. He gives up 2 runs, 2 hits, a walk, surrendered the home run to Bryce Harper. 2 home runs in this game for Washington tonight. Clint Robinson hit the other one, and that opened the scoring in the 2nd inning. Looper into left, and here comes DeJesus. He falls, and the ball by him. The run will score. Now the throw back in, that's loose, and corralled finally by Rivera. Desmond winds up at third base, and Span at second.
It looks like he lost it in something. I don't know, an awkward end of that route there by David DeJesus, and that ball off the side of the glove. You know, he's played such a solid left field for the Rays this year, and something went horribly awry there. Well, for a minute there, too, as he went down, you thought maybe he was hurt. Everything looks to be fine, but it has been one of those nights for the Rays across the board.
Yeah, it's a 10-0 game now. An error charge to DeJesus on the ball hit by Span. It's second and third. Rendon. 2 balls and no strikes to the Washington third baseman. Anthony Rendon. He walked to the bases loaded in the second, hit the ball to the wall in center in the fourth, and a hard hit line drive to left caught by DeJesus back in the first. 2 balls and a strike. Well, Washington put 6 up in the second inning when they sent 10 men to the plate. They have 4 runs home in the 5th. Popped up the right side. That ball will be fouled and falls out of the reach of Elmore. The count is 2-2. So with all of this going on here at the Trop, the Marlins are batting in the bottom of the 5th, leading the Yankees 8-0. And the Mets continue to lead the Blue Jays, with Toronto batting in the top of the 6th inning. Mets lead that one 3-0. The Orioles now lead the Phillies 13-1. And the Orioles are batting in the bottom of the 5th.
A lot of really solid baseball games out there tonight.
Boy, I'll tell you.
And it was early in all of those games. Yankees down 8-0 in the first.
Fly ball toward the right field line. Souza makes the catch. Here's a tag at third. Desmond's going to try to score, and he is out at the plate. An evasive move by Ian Desmond, and a couple extra dance steps in that one. Finally called out by Manny Gonzalez, and that will retire the side. A 4-run 5th ends this way on the fly ball and the out at the plate. You haven't tagged me yet. Now you're out. Elmore opens the bottom of the 5th inning. 1 strike to count to Elmore, then Rivera and Kiermaier against Tanner Roark. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two down into the bullpen.
The play was not made, and the Nationals bullpen is letting him hear about it.
Just turn away and smile.
Get him next time. I mean, even the Rays ball boy down the left field line having a Rays kind of night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been that kind of night. They've been out hit 12-3. They made the only error of the game, and they trailed 10-0 down to 3rd. And John throws a strike to Robinson. So Elmore's the first out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Get your best 70s outfit together and go back in time when the Rays take on the Red Sox Saturday, June 27th for Turn Back the Clock night. All fans receive a Rays retro headband presented by Florida Department of Transportation while supplies last. For tickets, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com today. Rays up. Well, they are up now in the bottom of the 5th inning and down to the tune of 10-0. 1-0 the count to Rene Rivera. There's a strike. 1-1.
A situation that this Rays ball club very rarely ever finds themselves in. The pitching staff usually so good that even if the bats aren't there, they're keeping the game close, keeping it within striking distance. Not tonight.
Yeah, you're so right about that. And a lot has been discussed. We've discussed it about starters going close to 5 or 6 innings. Boy, there's a shot deep into center field. It's going to drop in front of the wall. Rivera is on his way to second and stops there with his 9th double. Well, Rivera hit it a long way. It took a while for it to come down. And you see the ball drops there just in front of Span.
Yeah, off the bat it was well struck, but you're thinking somebody's going to get to it. As long as it was up there, not to be. That didn't even hit on the warning track. Well placed there by Rene Rivera in picking up that double.
Here's Kevin Kiermaier. And he lines one into center. There's a base hit. Rivera goes to 3rd and stops there. He hesitated a moment to make sure the ball wasn't going to carry to Span. Had no chance of that. He stops at 3rd with Kiermaier at 1st.
Middle of the plate, and that's where Tanner Roark needs to stay away from. Kevin Kiermaier stays inside the baseball, shoots at the center, and the Rays look to get on the board.
Joey Butler looking for his first hit of the game. One ball, no strikes. Big cut and a miss. It's 1-1. Out of play it goes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Side to second. Espinosa goes to 1st. That will get a run home and makes it 10-1. Kiermaier moves to second, and Butler drives in his 17th run.
Number 2, Nick Franklin.
Well, Nick Franklin will now pinch hit for Evan Longoria, who was 2 for 2 tonight. Rays down 10-1. Franklin gets an at bat. One ball, one strike. Franklin 5 of 41 from the left side. His home run came as a left-handed hitter. And he's behind in the count, 1-2. So the Rays finally on the board. Takes the count to 2-2. And a 3-2 count. David DeJesus on deck. Be out of play the other way. Orioles have scored another run. It's 14-1 Baltimore in the bottom of the 5th over the Phillies. And 5 different Orioles have hit home runs. Chris Davis. You see Davis, Lowe, Paredes, Parmalee, and Machado. Machado has 2. Pitch is popped foul, and that's going to be out of play. Two outs with a runner at second and a run home. Blue Jays hitting in the 7th inning in New York, hitting against Matt Harvey. And they're down 3-0 to the Mets. Soft liner, and it's going to be caught by Espinosa to retire the Rays, who score 1. It's 10-1 Washington. plate in the second inning and scored 6 times. Clint Robinson's home run started it. Bryce Harper led off the 5th with a long home run over the Rays tank in center field. See it roll down the netting over the tank. They scored 4, 3 earned to make it 10-0. It's 10-1 now. And the 6th inning underway with Yunel Escobar taking ball 1. And now a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1 as Escobar faces Eddie Romero. And a big swing and a miss. 1-2, or a foul ball. Just a little piece of that one foul. Home run by Giancarlo Stanton in the bottom of the 5th. The 3-run blast, his 24th. And now it's 11-0 Marlins over the Yankees. And a cut and a miss. Escobar looking for the hard stuff again. Instead got the soft stuff and was out in front of the change.
Right fielder, Bryce Harper.
Nick Franklin now at first base. And Jake Elmore moves over to play third with Longoria lifted for the pinch hitter. There's Bryce Harper. Inside. 1-0. Ground ball off the glove of Franklin, and that's going to be a base hit for Harper. He is on for the 4th time tonight. He has a double, a walk, a home run, and now a single off the mid of Nick Franklin.
Well, the Rays were able to pitch him tough in last night's ball game, and he has come out ready to go today. He's hit some balls extremely hard, this being one of them. You got the shift on and that hard hit ground ball off the glove.
The catcher is Wilson Ramos, and the pitch to him is a strike. It's 1-1. Ground ball headed to the left side. Elmore to Forsythe 1, first base 2, 5-4-3 on the double play. Bottom of the 6th coming, 10-1 Washington.
The 6 as the Rays trail the Nationals 10-1. Tonight might not be going as well, but the Rays are doing great things in the community. For the 3rd straight year, Evan Longoria has been the spokesman for the Reading with the Rays, Read Your Way to the Ballpark program. He went to Manatee County Central Library yesterday, and he's not the only Ray getting into the action. Chris Archer is actually taking part as well. He was at Childs Park YMCA reading and stressing the importance of reading to students and doing a couple dance moves as well. Dwayne?
I think Chris Archer's taking some of those dance moves from the dugout into the classroom. We saw him involved in that last night. A little more to dance about last night than tonight.
Yeah. And I think, when you watch Chris do his thing in the dugout last night and right there in that clip from Reading with the Rays, I think a lot of people are threatened by the way he dances. And I don't blame him.
I've heard the same. Fly ball to right, and Harper makes the catch. So David DeJesus is the first out in the bottom of the 6th. And Logan Forsythe is on his way to the plate. Roark's pitch is a strike. The Rays will head to Washington for 2 and then Cleveland for 3. And when the Rays come home, they're going to open a 3-team homestand, and the Toronto Blue Jays will be the first team in. And we're going to have to do a lot of homework on the Blue Jays. They're pitching still, because of the rough start they had at the beginning of the year, down near the end in league numbers. But they've had a great month, their pitching staff. And they're just off that great winning streak they had. Well, we're going to have to familiarize ourselves with some of the pitchers they have going. Tonight in New York against Matt Harvey, they've had Scott Copeland, Bo Schultz, and Ryan Tepera in the game. So we're going to have to get a full scouting report on that pitching staff now.
And that pitching staff has been red hot since the calendar flipped to June, and getting it done with some unheralded names. Well, you know what? They're making names for themselves the way they've been throwing the baseball. And on top of that, see, that's the thing that scares you about that team, is if they pitch, they've got by far and away, statistically, the best offense in the game.
Yeah, they certainly do.
I mean, putting up big time runs. They get some pitching and catch the ball. That is a dangerous team.
Forsythe with a base hit. Well, those 3 pitchers we just named are guys who they're not 20 and 21. They've been around for a while. They've been waiting for an opportunity and trying to make absolutely the most of that opportunity. Copeland's 27, Schultz 29, and Tepera's 27. So those are guys getting a shot, and some successful things have been happening with Toronto. Souza rolls it to second. Espinosa to Desmond 1. No chance on the backside of that double play. So Forsythe is the second out of the inning, forced at second. Souza Jr. aboard on a fielder's choice. Well, this interleague series continues tomorrow. The Rays will play the Nationals, but not here. It will be in Washington, and here's what's coming up on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Matt Andriese will make that start. We'll hear from him, and Orestes will break down that young man right there, Steven Souza Jr. Here's Asdrubal Cabrera. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. 1-1. Roark with 2 outs and a runner aboard in the 6th. Closing in on 100 pitches, couple pitches away from that. He made 101 pitches in his last outing on the 11th at Milwaukee. 101 pitches in 6 2/3. He is 2 outs into the 6th inning of this game with the count 2-1 and is 1 pitch away from 100. No action in the bullpen. He's got a big lead, so they'll get a few more pitches out of him. It'll be his high pitch count for the year, and it's a 2-2 count on Cabrera.
Well, and that's the key for Tanner Roark as we speak. You know, this was a guy we talked about, 31 starts last year, through 198 2/3 innings, 15 wins. Goes to the bullpen to start the year. He's only been back in the rotation for 4 starts, so he's still building arm strength. And an opportunity to get up over 100 here, like you said, set his season high.
It's out of play. Holds the count at 2-2. It's been a big night for the Washington offense. And there is strike 3 call. Cabrera out on strikes, and we'll go to the 7th. 10-1 Washington. Tonight, as the case may be, we raise up for Jackson and the Children's Dream Fund. The Children's Dream Fund fulfills dreams for children like Jackson, who've been diagnosed with a life-threatening illness earlier. Jackson spent time with his favorite player, Chris Archer, and threw out tonight's first pitch. How do you raise up? Seventh inning underway, and the first pitch to Clint Robinson is a strike. Robinson with a home run, a double, and a walk. A couple of runs batted in and 2 runs scored, and he is down 0-2. Line drive, and he has another hit. On for the 4th straight time in this game with a single to right. By the way,
Second baseman.
if you've never seen anybody hit for the cycle, Bryce Harper is a triple away from the cycle, and it would appear that he would get another at bat before this one is over. Brock Holt of the Red Sox already hit for the cycle. The first time that's happened in the major leagues, that occurred this afternoon. And the pitch is a ball, 1-0. And with that base hit at first, Clint Robinson is a triple away from the cycle. How about that?
I mean, between the games that have gotten out of hand early and, yeah, Brock Holt already having done it, 2 Nationals on the verge.
Well, and Holt needed the triple, and he got that in the 8th inning of their game today to seal the deal for the cycle. So we have 2 hitters in this Washington lineup now who need a triple to do the same. That's a strike on the outer edge, 3-1. Ten runs and 14 hits for Washington. The Red Sox had not had anyone hit for the cycle since 1996. That was John Valentin. Brandon Gomes loosening in the bullpen. The last Washington National to hit for the cycle was Christian Guzman in August of 2008. Look out, foul ball just to the right of the screen. So that count is still right there at 3-2. Guzman against the Dodgers on August the 28th in 2008. Liner into right. There's a base hit. Up to second goes Robinson, and Espinosa is on. He is 4 for 4. A lot of hits up and down this lineup for Washington tonight. 2 men on to start the 7th.
They have just capitalized on every mistake made by Rays pitching, and even some pitches that weren't that bad. They're in that zone tonight.
Michael A. Taylor drives it to center field, catchable. Kiermaier just a couple steps from the track, makes the grab, and that's the first out. One away. And here you go, up and down the lineup. Hits everywhere. Rendon 0 for 3, but he walked to drive in a run. And Ramos 0 for 3, but he drove in a run with a sacrifice fly. Pitch down to Desmond.
And Dwayne, how about this?
How about that?
The bottom of the order has gone off.
Foul outside of third.
Yeah, you're thinking about, you're coming in to play this Nationals ball club. You're thinking, don't let Denard Span get loose. You don't want him out there causing problems on the base paths. Escobar's having a tremendous year offensively. Bryce Harper, of course, he's putting up just ridiculous video game numbers. That's where the focus kind of lies. And then all of a sudden, 6 through 9 tonight have come out of nowhere with huge numbers. 3 for 3 in there, or 4 for 4 in there.
Low, 3-1 to Desmond. Alex Colomé started. He gave up 6 runs in 2 innings. Riefenhauser gave up 2 runs and 2 1/3. Cut and a miss, 3-2. Already a couple of career nights. Espinosa with 4 hits. That equals his career high. That started with a bunt single in their 6-run second. And Clint Robinson with 3 hits. That's a career high, equals for him. And there is ball 4. Desmond walks, and the bases are loaded in the 7th inning. Jim Hickey heads to the mound. Bases loaded, 1 out in the 7th, with Gomes throwing in the bullpen, and Denard Span, the left-handed bat, is due here with Romero on the mound. So they talk it over on the mound, and we'll remind you that Rays baseball on Sun Sports is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance by Grow Financial. Don't go through life, grow through life. And by the Florida Department of Transportation, to remind you to drive sober or get pulled over. Well, a trip to the mound not only by Jim Hickey, but Kevin Cash has been summoned. And Paul Harker from the training staff out there. And that's going to be it for Eddie Romero.
Well, tough to see. Go back and look at the previous pitch. You know, that was a fastball that Eddie Romero did not stay behind. Trying to drive this right to the middle of the plate, kind of falling off a little bit. Throws that ball wide. That would lead to the walk.
Yeah, you see Rivera's ready to make that change too. He says, hey, there's a little issue there. So that's going to be it for Romero. We'll be back in just a moment.
Your attention, please. Now entering the game.
It's a 10-1 ball game as Gomes faces the top of the order. Denard Span. Pitch is wide. Boy, base runners everywhere tonight for Washington. They had a 1-2-3 inning in the 4th, and that's been the extent of that. They had the 6th when just 3 men came to the plate, but Harper singled and then was erased on a double play ball. They had 3 men come to the plate in the 3rd, but Espinoza had singled, and a double play ball ended that inning. One and one the count. It's going to be out of play. Chris Parmelee has hit his 2nd home run of the night. You wonder what is going on around baseball tonight. It's 16-3 The Orioles lead the Phillies with Baltimore hitting in the bottom of the 6th. Parmalee had one of those out clauses, a minor league out clause. You got to call me up or let me go. They called him up and he's hit 2 home runs.
Smart move.
Yeah. So he has a couple. Machado has a couple. Davis has one. Lowe a home run. Paredes a home run. That's 7 home runs tonight for Baltimore. They have more runs than they have hits in that game so far against the Phillies. 17 runs, 16 hits. That's a line drive base hit into short left. Robinson scores. Espinosa goes to third. The bases are still going to be loaded as Span drives in a run. And that one is charged to Romero. It's 11-1.
I mean, right off the end of the bat, waits back on it, extends the arms, pitch down and away, and just flipped it. This has been the night for the Washington Nationals.
Well, the Rays are hoping that they just get this all out of their system.
That's the approach that you have to take. It's the same thing with the Baltimore game. It's 16 runs, 17, 23. It's 1 win. And you move on. You play again tomorrow.
Matt DeDecker's running at first now for Span. The pitch is a strike to Rendon. Ground ball, that's going to go through the left side. Espinosa scores, and the runners advance a base, so the bases are still loaded, and it's 12-1. Rendon driving in his second run of the night. One of those nights for the Washington Bats. Rendon with 2 runs batted in. Escobar has 2. Harper 1. Ramos 1. Robinson 2. Taylor 1. Desmond 1. Span has 1, and the other run scored on the error by DeJesus. Kiermaier's going to have to go back to make the catch on this one. Tag at third. Ian Desmond crosses the plate. 3rd run batted in of the night for Escobar. Advancing to third, Decker. And so the run batted in for Escobar makes it 13-1. And now Harper due, but they're going to pinch hit for him, and so much for the chance to hit for the cycle. He needed a triple, and Tyler Moore will pinch hit for him. Harper has 1 triple this year, and he's not going to get a chance to see if he can pick up number 2 tonight. And the pitch is a strike.
Oh, that's Matt Williams looking at risk reward. You know, this team, this game firmly in hand. Bryce Harper is so important to this team. Off his feet for a couple innings and hit it hard again tomorrow.
This is DeJesus under this one in left. Moore is out. We go to the bottom half of the 7th. It's 13-1. Presented by Geico. We go back to June 15th and 16th last year when Jerry Sands had the pinch hit game-winning RBI for the second consecutive game, becoming the first American League player to do that since Harold Baines played for Oakland and did it in September of 1990 versus Detroit, September 21 and 22. Here's Elmore, and he lines one to second on the first pitch. It's the first out in the bottom of the 7th in this 13-1 game. Rene Rivera come on to bat. Tyler Moore is at first. Robinson moves out to play right. And the pitch is a strike to Rivera. Another strike. Roark continues to do his job. 105 pitches. Ground ball, and that's backhanded by Moore. He'll make the play unassisted. With 2 outs and the bases empty in the 7th, let's hear from Todd Coutts. Todd?
Hey, Dwayne, coming up on Thursday, beginning at noon Eastern, for the first time ever on Fox, it's the 115th U.S. Open from Chambers Bay in University Place, Washington. This is a course like no other seen before in U.S. Opens. You'll have the coverage at Fox Sports 1 beginning at noon Eastern on Thursday. Continues on to Fox at 8 o'clock. The par 4 or par 5 hole 1 and 18 can be interchanged. It's going to be really cool, guys. 1 day, 13 hours, 19 minutes, 45 seconds and counting until the U.S. Open. Back to you.
And Todd can't wait. 1-1 to count to Kiermaier. And the pitch is down. How about this? Jake Elmore, who can do it all. He has pitched before, and he's warming up in the bullpen. Cut and a miss by Kiermaier. Well, that off speed.
He kept his feet, though. He kept his feet. Wasn't easy.
Now 3-2. Chopper out to second. Espinosa takes care of that, and it's 1-2-3. On to the 8th. 13-1, and Jake Elmore is going to make an appearance on the mound. On the mound. The last time was in August of 2013 in a game with the Astros. He had entered that game as a catcher, and before it was over, moved to the mound and pitched the 8th and retired the Texas Rangers 1-2-3 on 11 pitches.
Well, sinker slider guy is going to use both sides of the plate, occasional changeup.
And he will take over on the mound with Kurt Casale behind the plate. Rivera moves to first base. And the first pitch from Elmore. A ball outside, 1-0. Wilson Ramos in the batter's box, and he hits a fly ball to center. That ball with good carry and will get out of here. So a 1-0 pitch, and Ramos hits his 6th home run of the year. So this time Elmore is greeted on the 2nd pitch with a home run to center by the Washington catcher. Now it's Clint Robinson who's up here. Robinson, 1 triple away from the cycle. And the pitch is a strike. Oh, 18 hits for Washington tonight.
He humped up there. 84. See, that's the thing.
He's just getting loose.
Nobody wants to get to 2 strikes with a position player pitching. For that fear of the punch out, there was the changeup. So he just had an 84 to 70, 14-mile-an-hour difference.
That's the kind of differential you can make work for you.
Listen, that's a pretty good differential. You can make that that go for sure. He's given Clint Robinson everything. Fastball, the 4-seamer, changeup, breaking ball.
And to left. There's DeJesus under it to make the catch. So Elmore gets the first out here in the 8th.
And he does have bragging rights. He was the only Rays pitcher to retire Mr. Robinson.
Now it's Espinoza. The pitch is upstairs. That's headed up the middle, and a base hit into center. So Espinoza is 5 for 5 tonight. And Michael A. Taylor is going to be the hitter. Taylor with 2 hits, a couple of runs scored, and a run batted in. That's a strike. Sam Fuld, the last position player to pitch for the Rays. That was in September of 2013 against the Los Angeles Angels out in Anaheim. Pitch popped up. Foul ball. Casale's there and he makes the catch. So Taylor is out of there.
Let me ask you this, Dwayne. Do you think Elmore gets 2 innings tonight? The 8th and the 9th?
Well, pitch count's pretty good so far. Why not?
Well, you can't go to a pitcher at this point. So it's either Elmore finishes or they've got somebody else.
That's right. My money might be on Elmore. Check swing and a hopper right side. Elmore's trying to get back to first, but he will not make it in time. So Espinosa moves to second, and Desmond will get a base hit out of that.
A little check swing. I mean, the placement, this has been something to behold. I mean, this Nationals team, some of the hits that they've had tonight, they've had some really good ones. No question, swinging the bats well, but they've had some fortunate hits too, that being one of them.
And the pitch now to Matt Dendecker is low for a ball. Sam Fold, the last position player to pitch for the Rays, but a couple others have done it as well. Josh Wilson in 2007, and Wade Boggs pitched for the Devil Rays in 1999. Little ground ball. That'll retire the side. They score one on the home run by Ramos. Change now for Washington. Tanner Roark pitched very well tonight. 7 solid innings.
You know, that's the lost story in this game. We've been harping an awful lot about the Washington Nationals bats, the runs, the hits, but Tanner Roark threw a heck of a ball game. Not going to light up the radar gun. He's not going to rack up a ton of strikeouts, but he can be effective when he stays out of the middle of the plate, and for the most part against the Rays he did just that. 7 solid.
Felipe Rivero is going to be the new pitcher, and Kirk Casale, who just entered the game catching and went into that number 2 spot with Butler, the DH, out of there. And the pitch is a strike. So Butler was 0 for 3 with a run batted in tonight. .94 with that fastball.
And Rivero, a little bit of a short stride, big arm.
Now Rivero went to Washington in the Nathan Carnes deal. A 23-year-old left-hander. He had pitched as high as Port Charlotte in 2013 for the Rays. And he throws that one by Casale at 95. So he strikes out the first man he faces.
Well, that fastball velocity not lacking. 94, 95 on all three of them. You see him, he's got that short little stride and then whips that ball into the zone, tries to snap the breaking ball and really jump on the heater.
So Nick Franklin entered as a pinch hitter in the 5th. Want to know the count, and he's trying to catch up. Power arm here from Rivero. The count is 1-1. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Rivero last year in their minor league system had some elbow issues, but he appears to be fully recovered with the way he's throwing the ball tonight.
Well, anytime that you shorten your stride like he does and whip the ball with the kind of torque and force that he does, that's the thing that you're always nervous about, and that was a pretty good pitch right there. Tall, lanky, and a lot of arm in each and every delivery. Does not utilize the lower half as efficiently as you'd like.
And a cut and a miss. So Franklin out on strikes. Both these strikeouts on mid-90 fastballs. Coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers. Todd and Orestes will anchor our coverage. They'll be out in left field. Kevin Cash will have his press conference, and Emily Austin interviews from the clubhouse on a night when Washington has scored 14 runs on 20 hits. Brandon Geyer hits in the place of David DeJesus. 1 ball, no strikes. One and one. So Rivero comes in here firing away consistently in the mid-90s. Two balls and a strike. Nick Franklin is up in the bullpen now, so that perhaps answers our question as to whether Elmore would get 2. Franklin is throwing in the bullpen. Geyer missed that fastball up, and it's 2-2. Fly ball, center field. Taylor's there to make the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. We're headed into the ninth, 14-1 Washington. 14-1. We go to the ninth inning. This has been all Washington tonight. And we go to the ninth with Nick Franklin on the mound for the Rays, and his first pitch is a strike to Anthony Rendon. One and one, so Jake Elmore got one inning under his belt, gave up a run on the home run on 3 hits. Elmore's lifetime ERA is now 4.5. Not too bad, all things considered.
A couple of appearances. Take it.
2-1 to count. Ground ball, and that's fair. Up the line, back toward the corner. Rendon heads up to second with a double. So Rendon, who had singled home a run in the 7th, leads off the 9th with a double. The game summary brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. Seriously? 6 runs in the 2nd inning set the tone tonight, and it's 14-1. 21 hits for Washington. Bryce Harper hit a solo home run. Pinch hitting. Joe Ross pinch hitting, a right-handed pitcher hitting for Escobar, and pops out.
A little game of flip-flop.
Yep.
You're going to throw a position player, you're going to pinch hit a pitcher.
And the pitch now to Tyler Moore is a strike. Franklin delivers a pop fly into left, and that's Geyer to make the catch.
And right now we've got Jake Elmore and Nick Franklin in a dead heat with the heater. Both of them topping at 84.
Well, here's the test between the two. Wilson Ramos homered off Elmore in the 8th, and now Franklin's trying to get him to end the 9th. And the first pitch is a strike.
That's right. A little uncomfortable.
1-1 now. Two balls and a strike. Well, this is the first time the Rays have had 2 position players pitch in a single game. Fly ball to left. Geyer will get back, and that ball is out of here. So Ramos, who homered off Elmore, has homered off Franklin. A 2-run home run. And by virtue of the fact that he hit a solo home run off Elmore, Elmore still has the lead in that confrontation when it comes to the competition between Franklin and Elmore on the mound.
I mean, what are the chances? What are the chances?
Here's Clint Robinson into center field, and so he's aboard. Well, Robinson got another chance. He needed a triple to hit for the cycle, but it's a single, and he's on base for the 5th time tonight with a homer, a double, 2 singles, and a walk. It's now 16-1. And here's Danny Espinosa. He's 5 for 5 tonight. The pitch is a strike. Cut and a miss. 0-2.
Climbing the ladder. I go up there again.
Oh, and he hits him. An 0-2 pitch. And Espinosa is on for the 6th consecutive time. So Franklin hits Espinosa, pushing Robinson up to second. Taylor takes a strike. High fly ball back into left. Brandon Guyer on the track for it, makes the catch. So 2-run score on the home run by Ramos. 16-1 Washington. Sports brought to you by Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. When cancer strikes, strike back with CyberKnife. Available exclusively at Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. By Hattrick's Tavern, who is proud to introduce Hattrick's Catering. And by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Well, Drew Storen will take over on the mound in this 16-1 contest. And he's on for the 26th time. Logan Forsythe takes the first pitch, and that's in there for a strike. Forsythe with a couple hits tonight. Chopper down to third. Long throw from Rendon, and a nice throw right there on the money to Tyler Moore.
Yeah, had to throw that kind of flat-footed. Wasn't able to get any kind of crowhopper momentum. Strong arm. Anthony Rendon at third base here tonight. All arm on that throw. Well, and Drew Storen, by the way, the Washington closer, he's got 19 saves. Tied for third in the National League. Trying to close out this 15-run ball game.
Yeah, they had Matt Thornton up in the bullpen just in case, but he got the first out, so he's down. And the pitch is fouled back by Steven Souza Jr. A lot of strange things going on here in the last couple innings of this one. The Rays finishing with Jake Elmore and Nick Franklin on the mound.
Well, when was Storen's last appearance? This is all about keeping him sharp, giving him some work.
It's a strike at the knees. 0-2. Nationals had a couple men who were positioned for a potential cycle. Didn't work out. Harper didn't get a chance for his last at bat. And Souza out on the slider. Felipe Rivero worked the 8th inning and struck out 2. Storen with a strikeout for out number 2 in the 9th.
Well, and the beauty of this ball game is both teams are going to get on a plane, fly to the D.C. area. I'm going to do this all again tomorrow night.
He's hoping it's not exactly like what happened tonight.
Or anything like what happened tonight.
Yeah, they would prefer something more along the lines of what happened last night.
Right. That's why you have 162 of them.
2-0 the count. Marlins batting in the bottom of the 8th. They lead the Yankees 11-2. The Orioles keep scoring runs. They've put up 2 in the 8th on the Phillies. That's 19-3. And there's a base hit. Cabrera picks up his first hit, a 2-out single. Now the Orioles with a big lead. Yankees with a major deficit. Red Sox beat the Braves 9-4. And the Mets beat the Blue Jays 3-2. Jake Elmore, who started the game at first, later pitched, now at third. 1 ball, no strikes. Two and 0. A 3-ball, no strike count. So Elmore heads to first, pushing Cabrera up to second. Well, it would appear, if everything stays the way it is right now, the Rays would hold on to a game lead on the Yankees. They'd be 2 up on Toronto. Baltimore would move to within 2, and Boston 8 in the AL East.
Well, Matt Williams has Matt Thornton up right now. You know, you try to get Drew Storen some work in here, but you don't want to overextend him. And he's not been able to find the strike zone in the last 5 attempts.
Well, he got 2 quick outs. He got 2 outs on 5 pitches, but a single and a walk on 4 pitches followed. 1-0 the count on Rene Rivera. One and 1. There's Thornton, the veteran lefty. And the pitch foul. 1-2. Ryan Flaherty hit a home run for the Orioles tonight. They've hit 8 home runs in their game. And a breaking ball, 2-2. Marlins have made it a 12-2 game with a run in the 8th over the Yankees. And this one darts down again. Slider missing. So the count is full. Runners go on the 3-2, and it's fouled out of play. Well, the Rays have the one lonely run tonight, and that was scored by Rivera, who doubled back in the 5th inning. and scored on a ground ball by Joey Butler. Three-two again. And a drive back to left field. That ball's going to get out of here. Home run for Rene Rivera. Rivera's third home run of the year. And that makes it 16-4.
Oh, and so much for getting your closer some work and some tightening some things up. Full count fastball. You know he's going to come with a pitch over the plate. Doesn't want to walk somebody else. And Rene Rivera was laying in wait. He drilled that.
So Rivera with a 3-run home run. 16-4 and a pitching change coming. They trail 16-4, and Kevin Kiermaier will face Matt Thornton, whose first pitch is low. Rays allowing 23 hits tonight. The most the Rays have allowed, 25. That came in July of 07 in New York against the Yankees.
And that's not even the Rays.
No. That was 07.
Yes.
There's a pop fly into left. Desmond out. Then Decker in, and almost a collision as they grab it in left field to retire the side and end this game. And the word to describe the end of this game is mercy. 16-4 the final. Tonight the Rays hit one home run, and they raised a total of $12,000 for prostate cancer research. To make a donation, you can go online to homerunchallenge.org. 16-4 the final. The Rays out hit 23-8. Roark, the winning pitcher, his record is 3-2. Colomé, the loser, 3-3. Took 3 hours and 8 minutes to play this game before 11,491. So this series even at a game apiece between the Rays and the Nationals. We'll be with you tomorrow on Sun Sports at 6:30 from Washington. For Brian Anderson and the rest of our crew, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast, if not the outcome. Rays live the post game next.